Good morning, it's me again. I'm making progress with my situation. I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to do it, but I'm trying. Um, I'm gonna do a Christmas in July to see if I can get a lot of sales and maybe that'll help out with some of the stuff. I'm frustrated with the situation. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. Roommate boy might be moving out, but I'm not going to say that he is because he's pulled this before. He's been claiming he's moving out for the last 8 months, but only telling me and not John and Shania. So I think he was going to claim that he told me I'm not head of household. I mean, I don't have any money. I'm just the oldest person in the house. And that could have something to do with why he's like this with me. We're just trying to avoid him as much as possible, and I don't know what to do when he does these stupid little selfish things, because last night he guzzled down all of the milk and then tried to tell John and Shania that I did it. So I had to go to the store this morning to make sure that we have at least some milk in the house because we can't function without milk. Um, it's I don't know what to do. He's stupid, he's selfish, he's angry all the time. He's mad about nothing all the time. He makes shit up to be mad about when he tries to explain things. I don't understand why this guy is not locked up somewhere. Um, but I am trying to figure out what to do, and got stuck on the phone yesterday with the SHS for 4 hours. Um, and I can't call them back again until Tuesday because Monday's a holiday, I think. Um, so a lot of like the banks, the SHS, certain companies aren't going to be operating on Monday. Um, so I don't know. I can't do anything until Tuesday. But John and Schneider now saying that he apparently, because nobody's talking to me, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Apparently that me and Eli are not being evicted and that they're gonna figure it out. And I have also heard that another friend of ours might be considering moving to Spokane, and even though she does have mental health issues, she's actually done the steps to do the diagnosis and get on medication and all that good stuff. Um, so that's not going to be as bad. And then if she does have an episode, we can be like, hey, you're having an episode to take your meds. Um, uh, Maybe not that bluntly, but you know, it's and then John's mom is supposed to move in August. Though I don't know if that's a for sure thing or not. Um, and then I'm supposed to be finding out if I get my disability or not in August. So I'm gonna try again and figure and on Tuesday to get a hold of the SHS, and then at some point I gotta figure out if I can apply for emergency housing or just get on a waiting list with HUD. Um, Hopefully I can find a place that'll let us take Gigi because I'm not leaving him here. I'm not leaving him here, and if I could, I'd take Jasper. I mean, she's having some behavioral problems right now, and that's why Logan's been telling me that the house smells like shit, and it's my fault. Like I'm shitting all over the house or something. It's one of the cats is having a behavior problem. I don't know why she's stressing out, but she is. And I don't know what's eventually going to wind up happening with that. Unfortunately, when an animal starts behaving that way, it's either they they can't handle something that's going on in the household, or it's just a behavioral issue, and you usually wind up having to surrender them, or it's a health condition, and we're hoping it's not a health condition because she's got this big tummy, and yeah, I'd hate to have to put her down with the only symptom being that she's pissing and shitting all over, because she's really a sweet kitty. She's just I don't know, she can't handle a lot of stress. She can't really handle being around other animals. She was abused before we got her. Because Minty and Jasper, brother and sister, they were found in an alley, half dead. Their mother was nowhere to be seen. They are part of half the litter that survived, and initially, and then one of the other cats died later. Their brother, I think his name was Tobians, died later, and So they were initially given to 3 different people who had experience with animals, and Tobin's died. I don't exactly know what happened. It could have been a genetic condition, because if a mother walks away from a litter, it usually means that there's something wrong with them. And then Jasper, he's just an alley cat chunky, but he's sweetheart. He doesn't tend to lap cuddle, but he cuddles. He's a very sweet little kitty. And my Gigi, I throw him in there. Him and my Gigi are getting along pretty well, and Gigi was an abuse rescue as well. But apparently, if he's actually allowed to get to know the other animal, he's fine. They still have their little moments, and you can expect that because they act very much like small children, and they will have their moments. Um, and trying to think of what I was gonna say, but anyways, I've got a lot to get done today, so I gotta can't rest too long. I'm gonna do the Christmas in July thing to see if I can get any sales. I've reposted my sales for the booth, my sales post I made for the booth. Maybe I can get Shania to take some pictures once I put more stuff in there. The new stuff, because I'm doing some new stuff that's Christmas oriented. I'm just gonna focus on the Halloween stuff that actually sold, which was the ghosts, only the ghosts, and they've sold like all year round. I want to do a few more with the roses on them because it has that Day of the Dead thing feel to them, which is, I found out it's the same time as Halloween. It starts on Halloween and it goes till November 2nd, so I think the translation would actually be Days of the Dead, but most people just say Day of the Dead. So it's a, I know they do it in Mexico, but I don't know if they do it in all of South America, but it's just the way that they view death and the great beyond and family and existence and understanding. So they'll have like a celebration. So theirs is more like a party, and ours is like where the kids get dressed up and go beg for candy. It goes back to some pagan ritual, um, back to like before Christianity, I think, and it just kind of evolved over the years, as things do. Uh, but Halloween may have also been its own thing. Something like I've also heard that it's got to do with the time frame the harvests are in, and then the poor will go beg. They'll like switch their clothes around and be goofy, and then go beg from families to who are generous. Then the generous people would have a light on, which I think was usually a candle outside of the house, because some people did have like candle or gas lamps outside, um, to light up their properties so that they wouldn't have as much problems with prowlers and whatnot even back then. I mean, this is like a time frame where they actually had like mansions and castles and stuff like that. Because I don't really remember how long ago it was when they started doing that. But yeah, that Halloween's been around for a while. The pagan rituals that they believe that it's at least based off of, because it's not the same. We aren't celebrating Samhain or Samhain or whatever. It's based because there was things where people would go. I think Samhain is a little more interesting, but people would go and like pretend to be like I think they were pretending to be like demons that are associated with this dude. So I don't remember exactly what he was. It's pagan and from a time frame where they didn't write things down. So good luck. Um, um, uh, so like, and then like I think the idea was that people would give them gifts to like keep the demons away, bad luck or whatever. I may have been told wrong about that, and if I am, then feel free to tell me the truth, because I'm very interested in old cultures and lore and stories and like fairy tales and stuff like that. I think it's very interesting what people used to think or believe like a long time ago, like when they didn't know what was going on, that how did they explain it? I find that very interesting. And then some of the stories are just great. And then I've noticed that some of the cultures have like pretty much the same story, but it's a different dude. And I wonder, and that makes me think that something did happen. Um, that like Jesus was probably a real dude. Um, I don't know if everything that was said about him is true or not because, except people don't understand things back then. So no, and I'm not gonna, and I do believe in God. I am a Christian. I do believe Jesus was real. But when you've got this evidence that there was something going on in these other cultures that was so similar, that tells you that something did happen. What it was, I wasn't there. So, and I'm just saying that in case there's like people that aren't religious or don't believe in that, but that there definitely was something going on back before we wrote things down regularly. Then and that's what they thought, and I find it very interesting that Jesus, Hercules, and I think it was Finn, and then there's someone in the Norse mythology, I think Thor. They pretty much read like it's the same guy, except Thor was kind of stupid, but it reads like it's the same guy. Is it? I don't know. I wasn't there. I find it very interesting that so many cultures believe the same thing. So yeah, trying to figure out what to do. I think I'm getting somewhere. John and I are now apparently saying that we're not getting evicted. But I still feel like I need to have something going on. Like it might just be in our best interest to not live with them because my daughter does have some issues, and if they're going to allow somebody to act like they're allowing the current roommate to act, then we don't need to be at risk like that. So I'm gonna keep trying to get somewhere with these state agencies to see if I can like do something to get some help. I was talking to John and Shania, like if I can get on the correct program, which is ABD, it's age blinded disabled, then I can try to figure out how to get the money off the card because they put it on your EBT card because they used to let you put it on your bank card, but then people would like go buy alcohol, like and I know I can't use my EBT to do things like you can't buy alcohol, you can't buy cigarettes. There's a couple of other things you're not supposed to be able to buy. I think energy drinks is on the list and specific candies, so I don't remember which ones, because they're not considered food or they're not considered safe. Can't remember what it is, but anyways, there's a list of things you're not supposed to be able to buy with your EBT cards, the cash or the food stamps. Um, oh, guns and bullets is another thing you're not allowed to buy with EBT. But yeah, I'm not worried about not being able to buy alcohol because if I really do, so I don't drink that much, and if I really do need a bottle, I know my daughter will pick something up, and I should say a glass because I won't drink the whole bottle. I just have a glass, and that's responsible drinking. And I don't, like I said, don't drink that much. Um, uh, so wow, it feels so weird. Going to the store when it's muggy is not advised if you have fibro, but I had to go because Eli messed up his tummy again. And I didn't have any of the foods that are okay, that are tummy approved, so we had to go get some. And I had to, yeah. Thankfully, it doesn't look like the roommates come back, but it also doesn't look like John locked the front door, so whatever. Um, that's just whatever, one way or the other. Um, so I hope this all works out for the best. I hope I can figure something out. I hope I can uh, figure out how to get the money that the roommate's paying if he leaves. And then, of course, we'll probably have to replace stuff that he's going to try to walk off with or actually be allowed to walk off with. Um, because John and Shania are not the brightest people, apparently. Um, so, yeah. But anyways, I'm anticipating it to be kind of rough either way in the next couple of months or so, and I do expect there to be problems, and hopefully it'll be stuff that I'll figure out or that I can help fix. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just totally frustrated with the situation. Just totally not sure what to do. But I think whether we get evicted or not, it's in our best interest to move out because it's pretty obvious that um, we're not really being considered. So I gotta do what's best for me and my son and not what they want. So, like it or not, that might be what happens. So, uh, I don't know what's going on. I do know, I found out from my well, I called my social security attorney. I don't know if I mentioned that in the other video because I really don't remember. When I'm stressed, I don't remember things. So, um, it's a really common post-traumatic stress thing. Um, so when I called my social security attorney, I found out they can't kick me out. They have to have a valid reason, and I have to be served with paperwork. Which I don't think they're allowed to do. Like, because if the landlord gets involved, we're probably all getting kicked out over what the situation actually is. So John and Schneider don't want him involved. So I know I'm not being evicted at this point. I just don't know if I'm, because what he's doing is considered domestic violence. They view it as like if you're beating on your mom or your grandma or screaming at your mom or your grandma because they can't do whatever the fuck it is you want them to do. And it's not allowed. He can be arrested. I can get a restraining order. I just don't know if it's gonna have to go to that point. For the sake of sanity, I hope it doesn't. And I'm hoping that this isn't like a psychotic issue that he's developing, or that he's had, um, because it's not fun to live with stuff like that, and you don't know what the hell's going on. Other people are telling you you're doing and saying things that you don't even remember having a conversation, kind of thing. So I do not know what's going on with that, and I'm hoping it's something simple. I'm hoping it's not. Um, I'm hoping, well, I'm actually hoping it's more of a behavioral problem than like a psych issue, because then he'll actually know that he's doing it and he won't do it, kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I think my brain is trying to figure out stuff that nobody should have to figure out. Nobody should be treated like this. Nobody should have to be afraid that if they leave their house, they're gonna get yelled at, or if they have a friend at all, they're gonna get yelled at. This is not the lifestyle that anybody needs to be living, and I hate it that that somebody ever even thought that this was okay. So, that's what I'm saying there. So I'm trying to figure it out how to deal with things. Um, for those that rumble on about my famous relatives, my famous rich family members, yeah, I know that we're related to the JP Morgan guy. That's the original JP guy that started the company. We're not close. Again, not close, and that's a distant relation. At this point, there's no reason to believe that they owe us or that we could be entitled to anything. The famous guy. Fuck, I hate it when I can. Howard Hughes. Again, can't prove it. We are distant. It would be a distant relationship. Can't prove it. Probably not entitled to anything. Unless, of course, his statement that he wants the money used for medical research would be actually qualifying me because of my health. But that would be the only thing I could think of. But proving it, good job. Family took the autograph book that had the proof in it. So, and I don't know what they did with it. Fun times. And then of course, obviously, the guy that's still alive is Bill Gates. And like I said, I did the math. We are not closely related. There's no legit reason to believe that he would owe me or would have any obligation to help me. So that's kind of where it is. So people keep bringing that up. Yeah, just don't, because there's a lot of people out here that are in the same position that I am. We're related to royalty. We're related to famous rich people. What good does it do when you're this far removed? I mean, it's so far back there. They don't owe me anything. I mean, if somebody tried to get me to pay the taxes on a castle that apparently my family owned or was associated with, I think we were associated with it because the family that actually built it are all dead. So there was this sacred family, or however they pronounce it, or whatever the term actually was, because I don't remember what it was, that this family would take care of the castle, and they were considered to be special. Um, I don't understand it because it was from a culture that was from way back when, like way back. Um, and so the family probably has uh, royal blood because of some of the things that were going on with this special family, which is why they were considered to be a special family. But at the same time, even back then, though, none of them had the right to claim the throne. So, and I told them, turn it into a tourist attraction because they said it was associated with vampires. Hey, people are really into that kind of crap right now. Turn it into a tourist attraction. I don't have the money to pay the taxes. I'm just some poor little dumpling in the middle of in the States. I don't have any money. Turn it into a tourist site. Turn it into like a haunted hotel type thing. People love that shit. Apparently that's what they did. Because they told me if I didn't pay the taxes, then the government would have to take over. And I just said, yeah, I'll just turn it into a tourist attraction. I don't even know why they have approached me. I think they also approached my sister and my brother, but they didn't approach anybody else in the family that I'm aware of. And I just might not have been aware of it because they might have thought it was a con. It doesn't seem like it was. Um, but yeah, stuff like that happens. It might have been a con. It very easily could be a con, but it did jive with some of the things that certain people were telling me about the family's, long-term history, like long time ago. I don't know if any of that stuff's real or not, but yeah, I don't know why people think that if you have rich relatives or rich ancestors that you have to be rich too, because shit happens. You don't know what's around that corner. You don't know who's gonna pop out of the woodwork. You don't know if there's gonna be some medical bill, genetic disorders, all that crazy crap. You don't know when that's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna hit. You don't know who's gonna be affected. Yeah. So I know I don't have any hope of getting any money the way that some people are suggesting, and so that's part of the reason I keep mentioning it, because I want them to stop suggesting that, because it's not gonna happen, most likely. It's the only one of these wealthy, rich, famous people that I know that's still even alive is Bill Gates, and I don't even know if he, you know, I don't know what his motivations are, so because I've never actually met him, and that's kind of one of my criterias for if your wealthy family member has even the obligation to consider helping you is, do you know them? So if you've never met the dude, you can't expect him to give you whatever you're asking for. It's obviously he don't know who you are. If he can't figure out who you are, he's not gonna help you. So obviously, you know, and so that's where that is, and I'm just gonna leave that there. Noticing I'm getting a little long. Don't want to be too long. I don't know where the roommate went, and I don't know when he's coming back, and I just need to try to get some stuff done before he does get back. So I'm probably gonna pop off here, and I know my voice sounds a little scratchy. It's something's up with me, and I don't know if it's stress or allergies, or it's probably allergies because I was sneezing the fuck last night. God, I was sneezing so much last night. But I'm gonna pop off and then try to figure it out. And it's just so hard to get help right now. It's ridiculous. I don't know what to do. It almost feels like I need an attorney to get an attorney to get help. Um, and that's ridiculous. We shouldn't have to go through that. Really, really hoping I can figure something out. Really, really hoping I can find somebody who's willing to help out. Like, even just be our friend and help us figure out who we need to talk to and what we need to do to figure out, all this stuff. Um, Maybe even start my own thing. But that's gonna cost money, and I don't have money. Why does money have to be such a big fat worry? It's never made sense to me why people need so much money. Just they have so much money and they say they need more money. But we really don't need as much stuff as people sometimes think. So I'm just gonna leave it with that. and I'm gonna pop off, and hopefully I can cross my fingers that I can get something done, that I can find some answers. The help is on the way, and that I don't have to worry too much longer. Everything will be all right. That's all I want. I don't want to take anything from anybody. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't go to work. They aren't letting me work. I can't, I don't know. Can't date. Not that that's ever done me any good. Every time I've dated a guy, they never put me in a better situation. They demanded that I put them in a better situation. That's not a good relationship, by the way. You find yourself in a situation where somebody's telling you that it's your responsibility to put them or their yucky family members in a better situation, run. That person does not care about you. They only want your money. That's that's my advice on that. I guess I'll leave on that note. If somebody's trying to get you to lift them up financially and they want you to give them all of your money, run. Run. Cause if everybody gives me $5, I'd be in a better position kind of person. And then I don't make it sound like you have to. Because you don't. It's your money. You make your decisions. You gotta pay your rent. You gotta pay your bills. You gotta take care of your shit before you even think about worrying about me. Cause if I slip off the edge, that's what happens. I've been homeless before in better times. I don't know if I can do it again, but it kind of it is what it is kind of thing. But I am worried. I don't think I can live in the streets, but what am I gonna do? I'm gonna let you go with that. Hopefully, I can get some help. If any of you guys, especially if you're in the Spokane area, know stuff I can do or ways to help, um, let me know. Like I said, even if you just want to be a supportive friend, subscribe to the channel. I hate pushing for subs and likes. Um, I don't feel like I'm really doing anything that's that important right now. Maybe I am, but I don't feel like it. Um, but I'm gonna pop off and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.